Okay, good afternoon everybody. You're very welcome to this afternoon's webinar on auto enrolment, a new revenue stream for bookkeepers. I've already done a sound check, so thanks very much for everybody that answered. It is possible to increase the volume on your phone or also on the speakers on your computer if you're having difficulty hearing me. Okay, let's get started. My name is Karen Bennett. I'm the marketing manager here at BrightPay, and I've organised this webinar for ICB members. This webinar is specifically designed for bookkeepers who have payroll clients, and today's webinar will aim to make it easier for you to help your clients with their new auto enrolment obligations and highlight methods to streamline the process. Okay. Paul will present the topic today. So Paul is a chartered accountant, having worked for 20 years in practice. Auto enrolment provides the perfect platform for bookkeepers and to offer real value-added services to their clients and increase profits. Today, Paul will share with you his fairly unique insight into what auto enrolment will mean for bookkeepers, along with practical tips and how to profit from auto enrolment. Now, throughout the webinar, you're quite welcome to type in any questions that you may have. So again, there on the question bar, there's a little tab. So throughout the webinar, please type in any questions that you have, and at the very end, we'll have a Q&A session where we'll go through as many questions as we can. Okay. Now, just bear with me for 1 second there, guys. I think there's just a problem with my screen. Okay. Yeah, we're back up. The good news today is we have a free competition. So the competition is for a BrightPay Bureau 2015-16 license, and we have not one but two to give away today. So best of luck with that, everybody. The competition is open to attendees who stay for the duration of the entire webinar. Okay, I'll now pass you over to Paul, who will present auto enrolment, a new revenue stream for bookkeepers. So enjoy, everybody.
Okay, thank you, Karen. Hi everyone, and thanks for joining us today. Just a small bit about myself to start off. My background is as a practicing accountant. I started my own practice back in the 80s and eventually grew to a 3-partner practice with 10 staff before doing something completely different and moving into software development full-time. While in practice, I provided payroll bureau services for about 30 clients, so I know what it is like in the front line. This was a large part of my motivation in getting into payroll software development, that is, to make better software than what I was using at the time, although I can't claim full credit for BrightPay, which is written by someone younger and better than I, my fellow director, Ross Webster. But Ross and I together ensure that it has or will have everything you guys need. So here's my agenda for the slot today, which I hope you will find informative and give you plenty of food for thought. When talking, I will probably refer to auto enrolment or automatic enrolment simply as AE. Okay, a quick recap on what AE means, and just to note that this is only a summary. AE is a vast subject, and some areas are highly complex. It would take days, even weeks, to cover the subject properly. At the end of the day, you do not need to have an in-depth knowledge of AE. It is up to your pension provider and payroll software provider to filter out all the noise for you. So in short, AE is a government initiative to help more people save for later life through a pension scheme at work. AE is being rolled out in stages across all employers and started with the larger employers in October 2012. By October 2018, all employers would be required to offer workplace pension schemes to eligible workers. You'll see from the slide that January 2016 is when small and micro employers start to stage. This is the start of the so-called tsunami, and things will definitely get very interesting from there on. A lot of the companies staging before now will probably have had their own HR people to help them through the enrollment process. The vast majority of those staging from January 2016 will have no in-house expertise and will more than likely turn to you for help. So you have a gift-wrapped business opportunity, and this is business you don't have to go chasing. What AE actually means for an employer is that from their staging date or from their deferred date if they're using postponement, all eligible job holders must be automatically enrolled. And just an aside on postponement, some employers believe that postponing all employers for a 3-month period means they don't have to do anything. In fact, this is totally wrong. They do have to issue the postponement letters to all employees within 6 weeks of the initial staging date. Otherwise, postponement will not have happened. In other words, they'll have to retrospectively activate auto enrolment back to the staging date. So back to the definitions in auto enrolment. Eligible job holders are those who are between the ages of 22 and state pension age. They earn more than £10,000 per annum, and they work or ordinarily work in the UK. Eligible job holders can opt out after being enrolled. All other employees are either non-eligible job holders or entitled workers, and they can choose to join the workplace pension scheme. So in summary, AE is something that is optional for the employee, but mandatory for the employer. With AE comes a number of employer responsibilities. Employers must set up a pension scheme with a qualifying pension provider. Next, employers must assess their workforce at their staging date and enroll all eligible job holders unless they're using postponement, in which case it is a deferred date that the duties kick in. Employers must also pass on the necessary communications to all employees, not just those who are automatically enrolled. Within 5 months of the staging date, employers must complete a declaration of compliance to notify the Pensions Regulator that they have complied with AE. There are also a number of ongoing employer responsibilities, such as handling opt-outs and opt-ins, making deductions and contributions, monitoring employees each pay period, and sending a contribution file to the pension provider. To date, just 43,000 employers have staged. Throughout 2015, 45,000 employers will stage, and in January to March 2016 quarter alone, over 100,000 firms will stage. The Pensions Regulator has done some interesting research. 78% of small businesses will look to their bookkeeper, accountant or payroll bureau provider for advice. And it is possible to look up client staging dates on the Pensions Regulator website. Employers who have staged so far are mostly large firms, most of whom have had an existing workplace pension, a payroll or HR department, and in-house financial advisors. For most of the 1.25 million employers still to stage, and for the 250,000 new employers each year, this will be their first experience to review any kind of pension scheme for their employees. Some more interesting research. Advisors say that 50% of employers who have already enrolled have turned to them very close to the staging date. 3 out of 10 payroll administrators feel their clients will rely on them completely to help them through the process, while only 39% of payroll administrators feel their clients would be able to deal with any additional administrative demands involved in implementing AE, and with 8 in 10 believing that their clients will wait until the last minute to seek advice. So, how will AE result in a new revenue stream for you? A discussion I had with a BrightPay customer recently sums it up nicely. He was charging his 15-employee client £400 for handling their staging and had upped his payroll fees from £1 per payslip to £1.50 per payslip to cover the ongoing AE duties. Staging took him less than an hour. There were no additional software costs, and the ongoing duties were minimal in terms of his time, and most importantly, the client was delighted. Bookkeepers and payroll bureaus have had a lot to deal with in recent years. Things have cost them in time, money, training, new systems, and which they could not readily recharge to their clients. Examples are RTI, IXBRL, FRS 102. AE is the one new change that you can charge for and that should not cost you anything. So 3 key points are evident from the previous slides. Employers will need help from bookkeepers and other payroll bureaus. Employers will come to you last minute for assistance. Employers will prefer to consolidate all their outsourced services to one provider. So the key questions to ask yourself are you prepared to offer AE services to clients? Are you willing to lose clients if you do not offer AE services? This is a real possibility. If you decide that you don't want to get involved, your clients may seek another advisor who will obviously try to convince your client to use them for everything else. Will you make a profit from AE? And I think the answer to this last question is yes. With the high level of employers set to enroll in the coming year, there is huge potential for bookkeepers to gain new clients and to increase fees with existing clients. Bookkeepers have a relatively short window of opportunity to position themselves as open for business in this ever-increasing cluttered space. You need to establish yourself as a proactive advisor rather than a reactive AE advisor. Bookkeepers will naturally increase their income by providing this service in exchange for an initial setup fee plus a monthly retainer to manage the ongoing AE duties or an increased price per payslip. Payroll software is the logical fit for processing AE. The payroll will already hold details of age and earnings, and these are the 2 main elements in determining what AE actions are required at any stage. Payroll software can therefore readily handle AE, much like it took up the challenge of RTI. In fact, AE slots neatly alongside RTI as just one more tick box to check each pay period. There are over 30 administrative tasks to perform in relation to AE. Software solutions can automate employer responsibilities, which reduce the time spent on these tasks. With a combined payroll and AE solution in place, bookkeepers will benefit from greater efficiency, increased value added, and improved cost savings. Payroll software that can automate the employer admin tasks such as employee assessment, personalized communications, ongoing monitoring, handling opt-outs, refunds, mandatory reporting, and pension contribution deductions will be vital. If AE is not already included with your current payroll software as standard, you may have to pay additional costs for AE functionality and support. Whatever payroll software solution you choose, if you are changing payroll software, it is advisable to make the change from the start of the payroll year, thereby avoiding any of the complications of a mid-year change. For example, importing cumulatives, ensuring RTI fields are correct, etc. So now for the shameless plug. BrightPay is an easy-to-use payroll and AE solution that can do everything you need to provide a profitable AE service to your clients. With BrightPay's bookkeeper package, you can benefit from unlimited employers, unlimited employees, and free phone and email support for only £199 plus VAT per annum. So BrightPay has been accredited by the ICB, and we will send you a copy of this PowerPoint to all attendees after the webinar, which will have a link to the BrightPay accreditation report. Here are a few quotes from the ICB report to give you an idea. In simple terms, it just works. The ability to manage pensions is easy and will become more important in the payroll world going forward. The language used is easy to understand and minimizes the use of payroll jargon. As a payroll professional, the product gives me everything I need to ensure that a company's payroll is run compliantly. The BrightPay user interface is superb and makes data capture painless. As part of accreditation, we are offering ICB members 25% off the bookkeeper's license. So, just some key points. First of all, be ready. Know what you need to know when asked by your clients. With this very thing in mind, I recently published a paper on Accounting Web with the disrespectful title, Automatic Enrolment for Dummies, It's a 10-minute read, and we will send you this PowerPoint after the webinar, which will include a link to the article. Make sure you have the correct software and systems in place to prepare your clients easily for automatic enrolment. Be aware that some payroll software packages only partially handle AE. Beware of hidden costs when researching AE solutions. You need to think about any limitations when it comes to the number of employers and employees. Confirm that support costs are included or inexpensive with your chosen solution. And be proactive and inform your clients that you are open for automatic enrollment business. So I'm going to hand you over to Rachel for a 2-minute talk showing you just how easy auto enrollment should be. In this example, we are assuming that the employer, or you on their behalf, has already registered with a pension provider, in this case Nest, and registering with Nest should take only 30 minutes on average to complete. Before passing over to Rachel, my probably controversial opinion in the matter of AE providers is that most small employers will choose Nest because it is government-backed and it has a mandate to accept all employers and employees, even the unprofitable ones, and it has been preparing for the AE tsunami for the last few years. Having said that, BrightPay will also accommodate the People's Pension, Now Pensions, Scottish Widows, all of which are great schemes, and this list is constantly being added to. As a bookkeeper, for the sake of simplicity, you will naturally prefer if all your clients use the same provider. So, okay, thank you, Rachel.
Thanks, Paul. So today we're going to have a look at a company who are set up in BrightPay who are set to stage on the 1st of May 2015 and you're using Nest as their auto enrolment pension provider. Today I'm also going to do the demo using BrightPay 1516, which is now ready for download on the BrightPay website. So as soon as your staging date is known, this must be entered in the new dedicated pensions tab that we have created and in the designated field provided. This is to ensure that on-screen auto-enrolment alerts start up at the right time for you. Adding a new pension scheme is also straightforward in BrightPay 1516 and can be done in advance of your staging date. Within the Pensions tab, simply click Add New Scheme and choose the relevant pension provider from the listing. So using Nest as our example, you must now enter your employer reference followed by your group name. Here, we also have the option to add additional groups if required and to edit the contribution rates of employees who will be enrolled in this particular group. When ready, select Save to complete the setup. As soon as you reach your staging date in the payroll, in this instance the 1st of May, BrightPay will automatically assess which employees are eligible job holders, non-eligible job holders and entitled workers. You'll see on-screen flags and alerts appear to notify you that you have auto-enrolment duties to perform. These alerts bring you through to the relevant options available for the selected employee's worker category. So here we can see that Alice Barber is an eligible job holder, and this means we have the option to enrol her in a qualifying scheme, postpone her for up to 3 months, or mark her as exempt. So here we're going to enrol Alice, and you must now choose the relevant scheme that you wish to enrol her into. Once enrolled, BrightPay will automatically prepare the employee's enrolment letter ready for printing or exporting for emailing to the employee. So here we have an extract of Alice's enrolment letter, and this will include details of the staging date, her contribution rates, her option to opt out, and general information about auto-enrolment and how it affects the employee. Once an employee has been enrolled, joined, or opted into a pension scheme, BrightPay will automatically make pension deductions for the employee going forward. These deductions can also be seen on the employee's payslip, which is ready for printing or exporting or emailing directly from within the software. BrightPay is also able to create the enrolment and contribution files for upload to the pension provider's web portal. With a couple of clicks, you will be given the option to save the file to a location of your choice, ready for upload as required. Contribution files can also be created in BrightPay for the People's Pension, Now Pensions and Scottish Widows, with more planned for future inclusion. A new feature that is available in BrightPay 1516 is the option to process more than one employee at the same time. You will see here that when enrolling one employee, you will be given the option to enroll multiple employees with these settings. Simply tick the employees who you wish to enroll and select OK to complete their enrolment. Likewise, you will also have the option to batch print the enrolment letters of these employees you have enrolled. Batch processing is also available for postponement and exemption if applicable. So that completes the demo. I'll now pass you back to Paul to conclude. Thank you.
Okay, thank you for that, Rachel. Thanks, Rachel. Okay, I think Karen, you can have a look now to see if there's any questions.
Yeah. So guys, we're going to send through a few useful links and resources where you'll get some more information on what we covered today. And we'll just have a look at some questions that are after coming through. Okay. Let's make it a little bit bigger here. And, okay. How do opt-ins and opt-outs work?
Okay, well, basically an opt-in is where, say you have a non-eligible job holder who you are not required to automatically enroll. They can actually opt in. In other words, they can require you to enroll them. And I'm not sure whether the question there is how does it work within the software, but I mean it's handled quite nicely within the software. Opt-outs, this is where somebody opts out of the auto enrollment scheme. They must do that within 30 days of the joining date, as far as I know. And again, the software will create a refund on the pay slip following their opt-out of whatever contributions have been deducted to date.
Okay. Yeah, so Darren asks there, are we able to get a copy of the presentation? Yes, we will send it on to everybody afterwards. So another question there, is BrightPay internet-based by any chance?
It is not a cloud product. It has a number of cloud features. For example, RTI obviously is cloud. The ability to create the emails, that's done through a web server as well. And a lot of people, as far as we're aware, they will save their employer files to the likes of Dropbox or Google Drive. So thereby they're getting the various advantages of a cloud application. But as such, it is actually a desktop product.
Okay. Does each of our clients have to register with Nest, or do we register as their bookkeeper?
Nest actually allows for what do they call them? Designates. There is a facility within the Nest portal for basic agents to register their clients on behalf of their clients. Obviously, the client will need to do the final sort of authorization of that, but effectively, no, you can register your client on their behalf.
Okay. What if your pension listing is not on the list?
Okay, well, there are a number of pension schemes which we are presently working on, and we hope to have available in the next month, 2 months at the latest. But if it's not on the list, you can actually you can design the file that's created within the software. We have sort of customizable analysis that you can create these customizable reports and then export to CSV. It's not ideal, so obviously when we do get the actual proper file spec for the particular scheme that you're looking for on board, it'll be much better for you.
Okay, thank you. So the example shows employer-employee contributions of 1%. Can these percentages be easily adjusted using BrightPay?
The answer to that is yes.
Okay. How often do you send the report? After each payroll run or at the end of the month?
After each pay period.
Okay. I have a company whose workers' hours change every week, so they don't have a set salary. How would this work?
Well, again, the software will calculate depending on what the actual weekly pay is, including overtime or whatever. So, it's automatic, the amount of contribution that's taken off each worker. I don't know what the other part of that question is. Maybe they're wondering, when people might be assessed initially as an eligible job holder. Well, again, if say somebody's pay is normally quite low, meaning they're an entitled worker, and if one particular week, say their salary is quite high because of overtime or whatever, if they then become an eligible job holder in that week, you can either enroll them or you can decide to postpone, given that it's like a temporary increase in their pay that's given rise to it.
Okay. Can I put BrightPay on more than one computer, i.e. desktop and a laptop?
Yes.
Yes. Does this system work on Mac as well as Windows?
No, it doesn't, but we do have a Mac version, a native Mac version of BrightPay, which we are launching as a beta version next week. But the one that's available for download at the moment on the website is purely a Windows version.
Okay. Can we load BrightPay on sorry, I'm just reading some of these questions out directly.
Within the current license, yes. The answer is yes.
Yeah. Can BrightPay handle different hourly rates shifts, for example?
Oh, yes. Yes, it can.
I like this one. Has your software got better AE functionality than MoneySoft Payroll Manager?
Well, obviously I'm biased, but yes, I do believe it does. One of the things that I understand that MoneySoft doesn't cater for is the communications, which we do all the tailored communications. Again, one of the things you can do is you can download BrightPay, use it for the 60-day free trial. It has full functionality during that trial period, and you get to see what it's capable of in comparison with other products.
Yeah.
The other thing as well, I mean, if you want to phone us, we gladly give you a demonstration over the phone as well. We can use this Join Me technology, is it?
Yes.
Where effectively you see our screen and we can bring you through the various points that you want to see.
Yeah, we do a lot of online demos, so I know that was a very brief demo that we quickly went through just to give you an overview of what BrightPay does. But Anne is quite happy to go through any demos in a more detailed version for you. Also, just there's a lot of testimonials on our website just in relation to BrightPay, if anybody wants to have a look at our testimonials as well, just to see how people have found the payroll functionality. Okay, the next question is, what customer support is there for BrightPay in case of queries?
Well, basically we're at the end of the phone, 9 to 5, or yes, 9 to 5, Monday to Friday. We're also available at the end of an email, but yeah, no, we're there to help you out.
Yeah, and the customer support is free as well. So how much does BrightPay cost if the customer pays directly for it?
And the standalone version for one employer is £89 plus VAT.
Okay. So I think that's all the questions that have come through, guys. So thanks very much for attending today's webinar. And as I said, we'll send on the PowerPoint presentation afterwards, along with the relevant questions and answers. So thanks very much for attending today.
Thank you.
Thanks, Paul. Thanks, Rachel.